do you struggle with consistency? Do you struggle with showing up, posting for profits, create consistent results in your income? Do you have consistent paychecks coming into your bank account? Are you getting results? Like maybe you have 1 month where you have a November type month, and then the next month, not so great. Maybe you recruit 5 people in a month, and the next 60 days you recruit nobody. Maybe you generate a lot of leads. You have like one TikTok go viral, or you're creating some consistent results and then it just falls off. All good, totally normal, right? But I think a lot of that is because we either get distracted, we get discouraged. Maybe we're not as disciplined as we need to be. We haven't gone full time. We haven't fired our boss, right? So we're still a part-time network marketer. So that can be extra difficult if you've got a crazy busy life, a crazy busy job, you've got kids running around. So I've got 3 superstars, rock stars, top performers, top leaders that have all had success, and they all have different stories and different strategies that they've implemented to create results. And I think ultimately, that's what we're all looking for, right? Listen, this is a fun business. This is a business where you can grow yourself, right? I love that it's like personal development with a compensation plan attached to it, right? Character development. You have to become a better version of yourself in order to achieve results like you've never had before. Like if you wanted an MBA, a massive bank account, if you wanted to turn your monthly income into what you make annually right now, like imagine if what you made in a year, you made every 30 days. How many of us would be excited about that? Now, it might take you 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 16 years. Who knows? It depends on you. It's up to you. Everywhere you go, there you are. You are the variable. And there's an emotional side to this. Like logically, this business makes sense. You have conversations with 10, 20 people a day. You see if people are open to your products, open to your business. We teach you attraction marketing here quite a bit, don't we? So we teach you how to get people coming to you, but sometimes you're going to have to go to the people. You're going to have to create conversations. But at the end of the day, you're looking for people that are open. And if you have enough conversations, you're going to find people that are open. You're going to find people that buy, that join, that are like you and me, that are crazy people that actually think they can create residual income, that they can build a legacy for their family, that they can achieve financial freaking freedom. But it boils down to being a routine machine, knowing what to focus on every single day, those IPAs, and no, that's not beer, that's income producing activities, right? So I'm excited for you to meet Wendy, Christina, and Janet. They are all powerhouse producers, rock stars, and they're friends of mine. So I'm really excited for you to hear their stories. And I would definitely, again, take notes. All right. This is a conversation that could be invaluable to you, to your team. You can take this training back to your team and say, listen, this is what it takes to be successful. This is what it takes to become a top earner, a top producer, and fire your boss. Let's get started with Christina Whiteley. I know she is in Mexico right now. How cool is this? She was raising her family, doing her thing in Canada. The ish hit the fan, if you know what I'm saying. So she was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to Cabo. And she's not only in Cabo, she's literally living in Cabo right now. So she's not like just vacationing, just stopping by. This is the power of building an online business and having freedom, right? Becoming an online entrepreneur, a virtualpreneur. Christina, first of all, some people may not know you. They may not know your story. If you could share a little bit about your background and what's been your journey in network marketing. Did you have fast success? Was it easy? I would love for you to share a little bit about your background, then we'll get into some good stuff.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me, John. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to share with you guys, what's possible with all of this, because before I got into network marketing, I was a hairstylist and a bartender. I probably some of you guys can relate to that lifestyle. And I was working evenings and weekends, and it was great. But when I had my daughter, that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted to live anymore. I also had a really bad shoulder injury, so I had to stop working in my salon, and I was panicking a bit because I was like, now what am I going to do? And I saw a girl that was posting online, and she had a cleaning company, but she was marketing products on social media. And I was like, are people actually making money doing that? Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, there's no way that people are actually making money doing that. I kind of thought it was a bit of a scam. Right? I was really skeptical, but I called her up. She was somebody that I knew. She was an acquaintance. And I called her up and said, can you come over to my house and just tell me what you're doing? And she graciously did and told me. And I was like, hey, I think I can do that. Like, I really didn't have the belief that I could. So I told my husband I was just going to use the products and get, my pre-baby body back after having my daughter. But I thought, you know what? If I don't give this a shot, if I don't try, I'm never going to know. Now, I didn't have any experience in marketing. I didn't have any skill set. Like, I got a C- in computer science because I didn't really go in university. And then I didn't think I had any skills either. But what I didn't realize is the skills that I had as a hairstylist, the ones where I could talk to anybody and communicate, where I could educate people on a product, where I could make them feel good about themselves and help them make a decision that'll make them feel more confident or feel better. All of those skills were transferable. And my bartending skills, the upselling, the talking to people, all that kind of stuff, making people want to come back for more. All of those skills played out in doing this. And of course, I was terrified. But you know what? I was willing to take a chance for my family, and look how it's paid off. Now, I've been in the industry for 5 years. Now, I can tell you there have been times that I've cried over this business. There have been times that I wanted to quit. There have been times when I thought, am I really cut out for this? Am I really supposed to be doing this? But my vision, what I wanted for myself and for my family, was so strong that it pulled me through all of that. It pulled me through every moment that I cried and thought, this isn't for me. I can't do this anymore. Right. And the other key is that I surrounded myself with really good people. So I actually got into a company and I had a lot of quick success. So I made $1,500 my first month. I'm not making income claims, but it was just one of those things that I didn't have any options. And when you don't have any options, a lot of times you perform a lot better. Okay. When you don't have anybody that's going to pick up your mess or be able to come in and save you, which, by the way, nobody's coming to save you, it changes the way that you work. It changes the way that you operate on a daily basis. And so I thought, if I could just do this for a little, if I could just make a little bit of money, I might not have to go back to work full time. And so that first month with $1,500, I was like, okay, if I can do this, then I can do a little bit more, right? If you can make $1,500, you can make more. And so I just doubled down my efforts. I did the things that kept working. Now, working on social media right now, those things change all the time. And so you've got to be willing to try things new, right? And be able to explore and have fun while you do it. That's the key, right? I will tell you, you will make way more money when you have fun, okay? But you have to understand that in business, you have to expect ups and downs. It's not always going to be straight up, okay? That when you build a business, it literally is uphill all the way, all the time. Like, it's never super simple. And yes, it can be fun, but man, when you learn to have fun, overcoming obstacles, learning new skills, you can keep your sight set on that vision of what you want, and it will change everything. Because over the past 5 years in this industry, I have had ups and downs. And John, I'm sure that you can attest to this. Over the last, 18 or 19 years you've been in this industry, I'm sure you can attest that there's been times in your life that it kicks you. You get a right hook out of left field, and it really, you don't see it coming. And I can tell you that even though times were tough, even though there were things that happened in my life that I didn't see coming, this business saved us, much like it saved us recently when we left Canada to come to Capo. And I am so forever grateful that I have people like John and Wendy and people that we work with in our lives that keep us moving forward, even when we are discouraged. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. If that, gives you a little piece of the pie of what we've been up to.
Yeah, that was amazing. And it's so cool that, you're able to literally live the dream and build a business from home, online, and you can make your home wherever you want. And I love that you got a check with a comma your first month, which, like you said, not normal, not typical, right? Some people, it takes them a year to even see that first paycheck. I know for me, I put a lot of time and effort in my first couple years. And I made money, but I spent more money than I made. I was not profitable. There is a lot of hard work, that sweat equity you put into a business like this. And, the truth is, whether you have fast success or slow success, all that matters is you get there and you keep going. And there's going to be the ups and downs, right? The key to success, I talked about the emotional side of what we do. The key to success is to keep the bar down. It is a roller coaster. Buckle up. It's funny because people, they see someone like you, Christina, and they're like, I want to have that lifestyle. I want to, create financial freedom. I want to build this massive business. But the truth is, and you said it, It's not like once you start to see success and you start to make money and rank advance and build this big team, and you're having this big customer base, like now, yeah, you're making more money, but there's also more responsibility, and you have to be even more disciplined, and you have to be, it's a business, it's not a job, right? You don't just show up and get paid per hour. But the beauty is you can build something where when you walk away, you will still get compensated on the business you built, on the customers you acquired, on the team you developed over time. And that's what I love about this. It creates freedom. When we talk about consistency and creating consistent results, Christina, you've been able to do this, right? And you've also been doing a great job with building your personal brand and, really showing up on social media. Like you have such a positive, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say a positive profile, but like you have a positive persona. That's the word I'm looking for. So like your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, like all the content you create, you can tell that you have a real passion for helping people and you show up no matter what. I've seen you show up consistently for the last couple of years that I've known you, and you're just always out there leading by example and providing value. So maybe you could talk about like what drives you, what keeps you focused to create those consistent results in your business.
Oh man, that's such a great question. When I started this, like I don't start anything I don't finish, right? So the biggest piece of advice I can give people is commit to going all the way. Set a goal for yourself and just commit to going until you hit that goal. And I'm telling you, your goals and your dreams, they will expand with that. You've watched me over the last couple of years, and thank you for that lovely compliment of being positive, because there were times that I didn't feel positive. What I can tell you is in that point in time, number one, the community that you create, the people that you help, the people that you pour into, when you need them the most, they'll step up and they'll be there for you. And I am forever grateful for my team. I'm forever grateful for the friends that I've made here. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that we have to share some of those things to connect with other people. But what I can tell you is when you have a vision of your life, when you have people that you've committed to helping, you can't just stop. You can't just quit. You keep showing up for those people day in, day out. And sometimes I'm vulnerable, and sometimes I share those things of me that I feel make me weak. But what they are is a super connector to other people that have experienced that too. And when you have the strength to share the things that you've overcome, like, when you pray for something, let me just give you an example. When you pray, just be like, oh man, I wish I was more outgoing. I wish I was braver. I wish I go do that live video. I wish I could do live videos, right? God doesn't just grant you these wishes. It's not a genie in a bottle, okay? You get an opportunity placed in front of you that allows you to step into that role. And that's what I see network marketing as. Network marketing has allowed me to connect in a bigger way to people and help them in a bigger way. When I was a hairstylist, what I loved most about helping people was giving them a good haircut or good color, or styling their hair on their wedding day and making them feel the most beautiful they've ever felt, and watching their confidence exude from their eyes, from their posture, from everything. And when they walk out that door, I felt really good about myself. But all I could do was give them a good haircut, right? Now I'm in a position where I can literally change people's lives if I just show up and pour belief in them. And the reason that I do it is because someone, actually a handful of people, poured belief into me. When I didn't believe in myself, when I didn't think that I could do it, they poured belief into me and they said, you could, you can, keep going. Right? And so surrounding yourself with like-minded people, don't surround yourself in a chat where all these people are talking, oh, this sucks. Oh, my sales suck. Oh, my numbers are down, blah, 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 blah. Don't surround yourself with those people. Surround yourself with people that are way better than you. Okay. Start asking those people questions. I'm telling you, if you get in their inbox and you ask good questions, they will give you answers that you can immediately apply, and it won't take you as long to succeed, right? If you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to put yourself out there and connect, I know what that does for people's confidence. And people that are confident, they do more in society. They give back more. They contribute more, right? They help other people more. It's so incredible when you actually have an opportunity like this to be the best version of yourself. But not only that, you have an opportunity to grow every single day and take people with you. What does the world need right now? The world needs hope. The world needs light. The world needs opportunity, and you have one in your mouth and in your hands. And so I feel that if I don't show up that way on a daily basis, and by the way, I do personal development every day, right? I spend time learning and growing, and then I share that with other people because maybe they don't have the foresight to start that yet. I started my personal development journey 20 years ago. And now I've overcome so much that I want to share that with people, and I see it in them. I see it in them. And I'm like, I want to help you see what I see. And if you can do that to just one person, it's going to change your life. And once you do it once, you won't be able to stop. It's an addiction, right? When you actually get to see people transform in front of you, you see them grow, you see them change their lives, you see them be at home with their babies, you see them create a different stream of income that they never ever thought they could. You see them buy their first brand new car. You see them, be able to afford a home. Like, you are giving people an opportunity to dream. And that's never lost on me, no matter what kind of day I have, good, bad, or indifferent. That's never lost on me, that my voice matters, and so does yours.
This is what fuels us as leaders. Like, our whole goal is to give back. Our whole goal is to speak life into you. I've been doing this 20 years, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it wasn't always easy, but man, was it worth it. But it was me showing up and just chipping away, working on myself, working my business, developing leaders, developing myself first, developing leaders. And you know what's interesting? The harder you work, the luckier you get. But I love what Christina said. Her motivation that keeps her in the trenches, showing up, is how she can impact someone else. And you got to think about it like, and this is what I think fuels a lot of leaders in this space, is that we remember what it's like to be brand new. We remember what it's like to struggle. I remember sitting in the nosebleed section, like taking notes and listening to this, like, really charismatic, super sharp, super successful person on stage, and just learning from them, and, like hanging on every word and every joke, and like being like, man, I want that lifestyle. I want that freedom. The truth is, though, I was terrified of public speaking. So I never said I want to be on stage. I just said I want my team on stage. But does this make sense? Like, for me, I was so excited about the long term. I looked at it like this. I'm going to put forth time and effort, and the time is going to pass anyway. 5 years is going to pass anyway. 10 years is going to pass anyway. Like, I'm either going to be glad I put forth the effort, even when I didn't feel like it. Your goals and dreams don't care about your feelings, and your feelings don't care about your goals and dreams. Keep that in mind. So it's all about the discipline. It's all about becoming a routine machine. Like I talked about, like, there were days back when I first started working out, I didn't feel like working out. Now I feel weird if I don't work out. I work out almost every single day. Now, luckily, I do have a home gym, but hey, that could be on your dream board, on your vision board, to have your own home gym. The bottom line is, you need to figure out what you can do to make this business a priority. And I know for some of us, you're gonna say, I got a full-time job, I got this going on, I got kids, but you know what? So do a lot of other people. But you can either make excuses or make money. You can't do both. Choose wisely. Christina, any tips you want to share with people that are wanting to create consistent results when it comes to social media, and they might feel a little overwhelmed with all the strategies and platforms and different ways to go out there and generate leads and build a business?
Yes, keep it so simple. Okay. I recommend coming up with a DMO, a daily method of operation, right? That makes you excited. So if posting is boring for you, but you love reels, then do reels. I remember when I first found TikTok, when nobody thought it was cool and they were like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that, right? I found it before everybody else, and I doubled down on it, and my followers grew faster than everybody else. Right now, we're pointing to reels on Facebook and on Instagram that you're taking off right now. So if you put your name in the hat, then you have just as good a shot as anybody else to go viral. You have just as good a shot as connecting with other people. And so that's one of the things that I make sure that I'm doing, is doing the activity that is going to garner the most exposure. Because what are we all fighting for? All eyes on us, right? We want the most exposure. We want to grow our networks every day, because you get sick of talking to the same people over and over again. Actually, they get stuck of talking to you. So you want to make sure that you're growing your network. So how are you doing that? That is a huge focus of mine. And I prefer video content versus writing. That's one of the things I really like doing. Maybe you're opposite. Maybe you really like doing writing, and maybe you should have a blog. Maybe that's something that you can grow a massive following for and be able to grow your network marketing business at the same time. But do what you love. The other thing that I never miss a beat on is connecting with people. I connect personally with people every single day, whether that is 10 people for you, whether that is 50 people for you, whether that is 100 people for you. That's up to you. What's so cool is that you decide how quickly you grow your business, right? Think about it this way. If you ask 100 people, you're going to get the same result. you're going to get probably 20 people that respond to you. And half of those people want information, and half of them are going to say, no, not right now. Don't worry. They may come around in 6 to 9 months. Never give up on somebody that's awesome. Okay. But the cool thing is, if you ask 100 people in a month or a year, you're going to have the exact same results as if you ask them in a week or in a day. So if you want to make more money, if you want to be more consistent, commit to talking to more people every single day. How you reach out to them doesn't really matter. It's up to you. How you feel good about it. You want to send them a voice message. You want to send them a script. Maybe you've picked up somewhere, but make sure that it sounds like you and that you're connecting with people wholeheartedly. And here's the kicker. If you have a great profile, right, make sure your profile is set up, because that's your business card. If your content is valuable and people like you, if you're likable, then people will answer that message. Because what's the first thing you do when you get a message in your inbox? You're like, who is this person? And you go to their page and you creep them and you see what they're up to. If they are interested, they will message you back, right? And I never get discouraged with people that aren't, because I've had people show up year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and buy product from me. I've also had them show up and be like, okay, I'm ready to take a look at your business now. Like, look at what you've done over the last 5 years. I just had a message in my inbox saying that, like, look how you've grown over the last 5 years, because you don't stay the same. And that's the beauty of our business, is that you get to do it however you want. You want to work an hour in the morning, you want to work 2 hours in the evening, you want to go to the beach all day. Yes, I do, right? And so these are the options that you have. You just have to commit to having that daily practice. And I'm telling you, when you commit all the way, it will save your butt. And then you feel really good at the end of the day. Where people kind of get in trouble is when they're like, oh, I'm going to crush this thing. And then, oh, well, my friend came over today, so I didn't have time to crush it today. I'll crush it tomorrow. And then the next day, oh, their kid's sick and home from school, so they can't crush it that day. And then the weekend comes around and they're like, well, one of my friends barbecue, so I don't know when I'm going to crush it today. And so they keep kicking the can down the line. But if you have a small daily method of operation that you do every single damn day, because you know that you are bringing opportunity and light to people, then you can't lose. And just have fun. I'm telling you, when you have fun, everything expands and you get way different opportunities that you never know you'd ever have.
It really is just a mindset, right? It's a mentality. And you have to realize that in the beginning, embrace the suck. You're not going to know all the things that the leaders do, the top producers, but you get to learn from them. Just like right now, you're able to take notes and learn from Christina and what she's doing to build her business. And, you know, she started leveraging TikTok and short form videos and reels and Instagram stories and, you know, showing up consistently. And yeah, there's distractions and there's, you know, things going on in your life. Everybody's got that stuff too, but you almost have to treat it like a second job. Right? So if you were like bartending on the weekends, you couldn't just not show up on Friday because you're tired. You couldn't just not show up for that double shift on Sunday because you got a lot going on and you're busy. No, you would have to show up, or what? You lose your job. So Christina, myself, and who you're going to hear from, Wendy and Janet, like, they show up no matter what because their purpose, their impact is bigger than the business itself. Obviously, the business and making money is the goal, right? That's the point of being in a business like this, to make some profits. But at the end of the day, when it's about impact and it's about helping other people, like, you literally can't wait to post a reel, or you can't wait to follow up with people. And literally, what we do for a living is we create conversations and we make friends for a living. That's what we do. We look to identify positive, open-minded people that are willing to support our business, try our products, join our team. And like Christina said, even if they don't, you just be a good human. You stay in touch with people. And one day when the timing is right, they will reach out, or you'll reach out to them and they're going to go, I was just thinking about you, or, hey, I just got let off from work. Christina, thank you so much for your value, your content. So exciting, so much fun. And we just appreciate your leadership, partnership, friendship, and all the value you brought today. Thank you.
Hey guys. Hello. It's Janet Parks. Super nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much, John, for having me on. A little bit about me. So again, my name is Janet Parks. So I have been in the network marketing industry. I'm actually an infant in the marketing and network marketing industry. I started in 2018 with a different company in the past, and it was a party-based business. And initially, I decided to join that company because I had different goals. I was working for corporate America. And it was more like, instead of a 9 to 5, it was more like an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. type of gig. I was in sales leadership. My husband was doing the same thing. He was a district manager for the same company. So yeah, we were doing that for a while, and my goals ended up changing when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I was definitely someone that wanted to make sure that I was there to raise my daughter. So one of my biggest goals was, when I was working for corporate America and I found out I was pregnant, I wanted to make sure that I was home with her. So I started this online thing, and I had no experience whatsoever. I don't think I even knew anyone that sold indirect sales. So it was definitely a new thing for me. So when I first started, I was clueless. I didn't know how to sell online. I didn't have any prior experience. I barely used Facebook or social media because I was so busy with my job. So my eyes just like lit up when I found out that I can actually make money online, and it was an actual thing. And it wasn't like this scam that I thought, like Christina was saying earlier. We all thought these kind of things aren't real. You can't really make money online. And so with my personality, me being a natural introvert, this is not like a natural thing for me. So when I first started and I saw that instant success, my first month, I ended up investing in a kit, and then I made, quadruple the amount that the kit was, and it just ended up really motivating me to work harder and to figure this whole online thing out. Anyways, about a couple years in, some things started changing in that company, and our values just didn't align anymore. And I met this incredible human who is going to speak after me. And I mean, I think I came across like a live video, and she was talking about how she was killing it in this business, and she had 7 kids. And me, I have 4 kids. So I have a 5-year-old, I have a 1-year-old, and I have 2 step teens. So me just watching just how my life was going, just being so busy, and then at the same time, just kind of hesitating and just overthinking, and then just feeling like, okay, well, I just don't have the confidence. There's no way I can be successful at this. And just watching this other human talk about how she had 7 kids, killing it in this business, it just really motivated me. She's one of the very few people that really inspire me. And so I decided I was going to take the plunge with her, and it's just been an insane year for us. I never, if you were to ask me 3 years ago, if I saw myself in a position where I was able to work from home comfortably, retire my husband earlier in the year from his full-time career of 15 years, and be able to just do this together, raise our kids together, unite our family, plan that financial freedom, and just work towards our goals. I've built a personal brand from this, and it's growing as well. I mean, I would have laughed at you. So, I mean, if I can do it as this introverted person who's never had any experience in this, you can do it. Anybody can do this. So anyways, in a nutshell, that's my quick story of how I got introduced to this.
So I am so pumped that you're here because, hi, I'm Wendy Stevenson, and Janet, I'm just so blessed that she joined me in business, and we got connected online, you guys, through live video. I can't tell you guys enough the power of live video. One thing that I found so admirable about her in launching her business, she actually had a baby through the process of launching a new business and growing, and never quit, never slowed down. So since we're talking about consistency, I would love for you to speak to that, and just the new moms out there, or maybe moms on maternity leave that don't want to go back to work, or that just feel that overwhelm. Like, what did you do to create that consistency in your business despite, having a baby?
I think one of the biggest things that was super helpful was the fact that, when you join a business that already has systems in place that you can easily plug yourself into, and it's duplicatable, something that you can kind of just take, make it your own, and just do the repeat every single day, I think that made it a lot easier. But at the same time, I'm a natural go-getter. If there's an obstacle in front of me, I'm the type of person that will not feel satisfied unless I overcome that hump. And so, I mean, through the internal struggles and through some of that, confidence issues and all those things and starting a new business, I had this goal in mind. And I was watching all these rock stars in this business that were also new moms. Like I said, Wendy, a mom of 7, it just made it feel more possible, knowing that I have these people that I can look up to and say, okay, if she can do it, I can do it as well. So when I had my baby, I had already had my day-to-day in. So just like what Christina was saying, developing those DMOs, those income producing activities that you can stick to on a day-to-day basis. I didn't allow myself to get motivated first in order for me to build something that was consistent. I had to make sure that I had a discipline, because if these people were rocking it and these people were making whatever income that they were making and they were able to accomplish their goals the way that they are, I know that I could do it as well. And I just knew a few months ahead that I was going to have a baby. So I just made sure that on my day-to-day, I had my non-negotiables. So, I mean, if y'all are having trouble when it comes to creating a consistent schedule, for me personally, we were just talking about how to create a schedule. It's hard for me to have a set schedule in stone with little people, right? Because you just never know. Your schedule constantly changes, especially as a mom, especially as a new mom, right? So with that, I just had to go with what I could go with. And the thing that I knew that I could do was make a list of my non-negotiables. So on a day-to-day basis, what did I have to do? It was the very bare minimum that I needed to do to put into place to make sure that I wasn't going to fall off the bandwagon, because I had great momentum at that time. One of the main things was making sure that every single day I was connecting and informing with my people in my story. So that was number one. Every single day, connecting and informing. Connecting as in sharing my personal life, talking to people one-on-one, they reciprocate, being my real authentic self every single day, and then informing whenever there was a sale, whenever there was something going on in the company, sharing what I do on a day-to-day basis, products that I use on a day-to-day basis, right? It wasn't like a commercial every day, but it was just sharing what I'm already doing on a day-to-day basis. So that was one of my non-negotiables. Another non-negotiable that I ended up implementing was making sure that every single day, and this is going to be different for everyone, right? There's people here that are in different companies. So, I mean, of course, tailor this to how you would best suit you. But for me, 10 to 15 conversations a day, whether I was following up or starting a conversation with someone, every single day, I was being a human on social media and just either starting or following up. And that really helped me, because when I had my son, I was basically off social media for a good 2 months because I just didn't have the energy to show up on social. I never had makeup on. I mean, we look like a hot mess because you're not sleeping, you're taking care of a newborn. And because I had built that up to that point and I had that consistency, Bryn actually worded it really well. I forget the exact way that she said it, but she said, what you've done in the last 60 to 90 days absolutely reflects where your business is right now. So even if you're not getting a lot of results right now, you've got to make sure that you're laying down the foundation and laying down the bricks now, because whenever something does happen, having a child or just something in your life where you have to unplug, my business was just rolling, right? I was still hitting my ranks and I was barely touching my social for a while, which was amazing. And that really just kind of set things in stone for me and validated that this was a legit thing. Being able to sleep, or at least try to sleep during that time, and then coming back on social and seeing my paychecks coming in, my notifications of people creating new accounts, and just people still reciprocating and hopping in my inbox, seeing that still in motion was really validating. But I would say, I mean, back to what Christina said, like I mentioned, daily DMO. What are your non-negotiables? If you're short on time, and like I mentioned earlier, we were both working for corporate America. My husband was working morning to night. He was a district manager and he had to go to multiple stores at once. And he wouldn't be home until the kids were in bed. So I had to figure it out on very, very little time, make sure my kids had my eyeballs. They knew that I still loved them at the same time. So, I mean, I just had to work it out. And that during that period of time, I just taught myself that I can't allow myself to, I got to make sure that motivation isn't the key. It's just discipline. And along with discipline, what can I do to stay disciplined on a day-to-day to make sure that I can get my bare minimums in? And so I would just say, if y'all are having trouble with that, create your non-negotiables list. What are those things that if you are wanting to put some kind of effort into your business on a day-to-day that you can do consistently? For me, it was stories and then 10 to 15 conversations a day. So that helps.
I love it. I love it, Janet. And it really is an exciting thing when you put systems in place. And Janet, you nailed it. It's like what you're doing now, you're going to see those results in 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, right? And you're planting seeds all the time. The two of you are very good with like systems and like putting tools and resources in place, like, with boards and just some of the things that the two of you do so that you do consistently have leads in your inbox, so you consistently connect with people. And what would be some of those ways that you've gone about building up new relationships, connecting with people? And then what are some of those back end tools to maybe capture the lead or build up that funnel so that it just consistently has new people that are interested in what you got going on?
You want to go first, Janet?
Sure. I think for me, that's what's really helped with those conversations is just being okay with starting those conversations and putting yourself in a position where you're in the spotlight, so where people have the opportunity to reach out to you. That was one of the things that I never used Facebook stories before I joined this business. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know anything about Facebook stories. When I started and just connecting with people intentionally, looking at you in the eyeballs and just having a conversation about something that I was passionate about, something that I was doing that day, showing off my kids. I mean, it could really just be that simple. Those conversations of people saying, oh, your kids are so cute, or, you intentionally putting in a call to action about something that has nothing to do with your business made it easier to start those conversations. And when I start those conversations, my goal in the middle of those conversations is, how can I transition? How can I transition about product? How can I transition into business? If this is somebody that I enjoy talking to, a person that actually I can see myself being in business with, what does their profile look like? Then I start to kind of dive in a little bit deeper. But my Facebook.
Hold on. I love that you said that though, because sometimes when we're new, we want to convince people and we're trying to sign up everybody because we're getting nobody. And that's part of the problem is we're coming across with like commission breath, desperation. We're kind of feeling like we're having to convince people. And I don't convince people. I answer questions. I overcome some basic objections. But, the one thing that I know you definitely do is you're connecting with people. And if they're cool, you're going to pursue that conversation. You're going to ask them if they're open, or maybe they're asking about the product and, based on where the conversation goes and their energy level, right? It's like your vibe attracts your tribe. I don't want to work with people as a customer, as a business partner. I don't want to enroll someone that's like, they start off negative. They start off with like expectations or wanting me to convince them. Like, I'm not interested in that. If they pull back, right? If they pull back, I'm pulling back. I'm not going to be pouncing on them and like, come on, you don't understand. We're going to get rich. We're going to get skinny and rich. Let's go.
Once I let go of that, once I let that go, because, again, I'm an infant in this industry. But when I first joined, that was such a big thing with my other company was you need to recruit. Just anybody with a pulse, you can recruit them. Just recruit them. Make sure to ask that question. But now that I've transitioned over, and it's been a while since I've made that transition, now I don't want to work with somebody who's a negative person. I want to work with somebody that I feel that I can communicate with, that reciprocates. Someone that, if you're willing to put in the hard work and you're coachable and you ask the right questions, I'm not going to convince you anymore. I'm going to put the information in front of you and then you do what you like with that. So,
and that's, I want to spin off of that with the systems, right? Because when you get in that conversation where you're like, okay, I like this person. I think they could crush it, right? I could work with them. And you ask them if they're open to taking a look. What used to hang me up all the time is when they said yes. I almost didn't want people to say yes, because then I'm like, no, what? Right? Because I came from the industry or the company that we did three-way calls. And I hated three-way calls. One, because I had a million kids around my head, right? And two, because I never knew if the person I brought on the three-way call was going to be any good, right, at closing. And it took my time away from my family. And a lot of times they didn't show up, right? And so having those systems, getting to take that conversation, and then somebody, now it's like, you're open? Awesome. Boom. We use our boards app. So if y'all don't have boards, download boards. I use my boards app, and I have a whole script of, hey, awesome, I'm going to add you to this Facebook group. Here's a picture of what it looks like, right? And then I go add them to this Facebook group, ATM system that John Melton teaches all the time, life-changing, right? And then tag them in a video, pop them in a group chat. And then there's no pressure in that group chat, right? And the group chat, we all have the first message is typically already prepared, right? So we're not having to spend a ton of time talking to somebody that maybe never even responds, right? So we have that pre-recorded audio or pre-typed memo that says, hey, here's my story. Would love to hear a little bit about you. And guess what? Half those chats, right? People don't even respond. And then I haven't wasted my time with a prospect who's not really interested. Because like Janet said, mom of 7, I thankfully only have 4 in the house now, but one's moving back. That happens, right? But time is valuable. And anytime I have to answer a question twice or type a message twice, I find a way to make it simpler, right? Do I need to create a tutorial video with this? Do I need to put this in my boards app so it's just the press of a button and I send it out? With the ATM groups, that's a system. That's something that's easy. You plug people into. They're seeing other testimonials. That's honestly what sold me on this business is I kept seeing Bryn Lang's name pop up, and she's like shouting out this person and shouting out that person and rolling this person and rolling that person. And I was in there to be a snoop. I was in there to like just check out what these people over here are doing. And but that system, right? My friend calls the Facebook group the silent seller. And I thought that was so powerful, right? Because you put people in there, and when you're active in it and they're seeing the activity, they're seeing other people's testimonials, it's selling them without you having to do anything.
Right.
That's powerful.
A lot of the stuff we post in our ATM groups, it's like we kind of want to post on our wall or in our story, but we're like, it's too much. It's too spammy. So I can be more promotional. I can be more direct. I can say the name of the company. Like we just did a curiosity post promoting our 30% off our liquid Botox, right? It's like Botox in a bottle. Like literally people are like, well, what's the name of the company? You covered the label. And it's like, dude, that's all we want. Just that comment means lead. Now we have a job to do. Our job is to connect with that person, convert that person, right? Turn that lead into a prospect, ATM them, friend them up if they're not a friend. But at the end of the day, it's like, we just want them to raise their hand, drop a like, drop a comment, like drop, into our story, whatever. And it's all about engagement, conversation, building relationships. And then, I love the boards. Like I've been using it a lot because it's so simple that like, there's just, like you said, there's these copy and paste videos we send out or, little scripts. Boards is just money in the bank. I don't know who created it. I think it's all over the world. So I think
it's free.
Yeah, and it's free. Yeah. It's literally like we're at this point now for our team. We just have like a boards app and people just download that and they have all the scripts, all the resources, all the documents, everything they need, the graphics, all right there on boards. And as much as we still use the Facebook groups, it's nice to have that in place. Like you said, Wendy, it's like, you get someone says, I'm interested. It's like, how do you get them from I'm interested to getting them into the ATM group and getting them tagged and then setting up the group chat? Like there are some additional steps, again, way easier than home parties, weekly meetings at a hotel or three-way calls, but there still is some work to do. But if you can just make that so it's like dummy proof.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like Christina talked about the reels. So apparently I'm doing well with Facebook.
Yeah, you are.
But I would never really dove into the TikTok. I tried, but man, when reels came to Facebook, I'm like, yes, because Facebook is my jam. Okay. And so I've gained 6,000 followers in the last couple of weeks just because of reels on Facebook. And I have all these people, and I'm maxed out on friends. So I have all these people commenting and wanting information. Like every time I open my reel and look at the comments, there's more people saying they want info. You guys, for me to have messaged all these people, I would have needed a full-time assistant. However, with the boards app, I have literally laid out for every reel, it has its own board, like flow.
That's good. I love it.
So I saw you commented on my reel for drinkable skincare, right? Like I have boom, 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 right? And sends it all out. Like, have you ever used collagen before is how I end it. I used to spend so much time teaching my team the same things over and over and over. But like, what are those tools and those resources you can use and empower people to go find the information, right? Like as a leader, being able to say to somebody, you know what, I bet you can Google that and find that out. Instead of providing the answer, empowers them to become better leaders and to become more resourceful and to build a bigger business. I used to want to be the person that had all the answers and everyone came to me and I was like the golden child that if I left, everyone would fall apart. I learned now that that is not leadership, right? That is not the person I want to be. And I'm way too busy for that. So, and John, you're a perfect example of that, like always pointing to people to resources and providing opportunities for people to learn through these lives that you do. And it's powerful. So anything you can automate, anything you can outsource, anything you can simplify, or, create tools for is going to save you time, save you money, help you be more productive and build more freedom, right? That's what it's all about.
Well, and I think also it's more attractive because people see you like traveling here and traveling there and like having, this like amazing business, but you don't seem stressed or, you don't look like you're like the typical workaholic. And listen, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do, but like, honestly, and I hate saying this word because I don't want to make it sound whatever, but it's like, I just like respond to people's messages on Messenger. It's so much easier than what we used to do. It's straight up easy in comparison to what we used to do. And it's crazy to think that like, somebody can build a business with tools and resources and all the things that are in place where like, you could literally take a step back. And like Janet said, Christina said, you said that you have like business coming in, people still buying, people still joining, even if you're not on top of it. And the reason we can support such a big team and still go out there and start new teams and prospect and close business and bring in customers and all these things, because a lot of the stuff that they need is already in place. Yeah. There's already a welcome video, a training on how to launch your business. And, there's PDFs they can print off, like where's all the Facebook groups and what are your websites and like all the basic stuff that like typically back in the day, and you said it, like we'd get on the phone and we'd explain everything. And sometimes even if I know the answer to something, I'm like, wait, did you print off the launch document, the 24-hour game plan? Did you print off the scripts? Do you have the things? Like, oh no, I didn't do any of that. And I'm like, and I know I told them to, but here's the thing. And you have to remember this as a prospector, as a leader, as a recruiter, people only retain 7 to 10% of what you share with them that first time. So 90% of what you shared with them, they forgot. So just realize and know this to be true, that people are going to constantly need direction. And it's funny because I was talking to a leader today from another company and she was asking like, what are the most important things with onboarding and bringing on new people and some of the things in your system? And I said, listen, a lot of the stuff that we've created, the scripts, the launch process, the system, what to post every day, what to do every day, like those income producing activities, we've got our like, the chart where they know like, oh, I check off all these things that I need to do every day. A lot of that is honestly for the existing marketers on the team, because you bring in a new person and sure, it's like, hey, go through guide 1, print off the documents, launch your business, but you're still their sponsor, their mentor, their enroller. You're still going to be the one that's like, hey, did you do this yet? Did you do that? They're asking you questions. By the way, if you get someone asking you questions, right? A customer, a lead, a business partner, be so excited. You have someone that actually wants to do something. Holy moly. It's crazy how like, we sometimes take that for granted. And I think that's the one thing that keeps me humble and keeps me active and keeps me doing what I'm doing. Because I remember what it was like to be like, where they at though? Like, where's all the people? Like, how do I find people to talk to? Like, so the fact that we now can have people, like you said, 6,000 new people that are following you. Now, that doesn't mean they're all leads or prospects for your business. Some of them you may never talk to. But the fact that you have 6,000 humans that you can go through and start connecting with and create conversations with and are dropping comments. Like, how many of us would agree that that's like the magic right there? You got people coming to you, asking you for information. And Janet, Christina, Wendy, they're at a point where they have so many people that they have to literally automate and systematically do all these things because they could never, like you said, respond to all those comments. You'd have to have a full-time assistant to do that. That's crazy. So I get so excited. And if y'all aren't excited, like check your pulse because this is amazing.